Hello, hello. You are watching Bright Radio and you're listening to brightradio.org. Right now, we are at the Word Youth Conference in Ocean City, Maryland, and just hot off the stage, like hot off the press, propaganda. Tell us about your name and your passion. Where did that come from?
Man, I am pretty hot because it was hot up there.
It's kind of warm in there.
Yeah, it was kind of warm. So you said my name and my passion?
Yes.
Well, the name was given to me by one of my cousins, and my first love. Like I went to college for like visual arts education. So I was illustration, intercultural studies. I taught high school for a while, and so I guess the kind of the combination of like education, art, music, poetry. He just kind of dubbed all of that as like, yeah, that's just what you are. So so I kind of got the name from him. The passion, man, it's always like a difficult question, like where the passion came from. I think I'm just like I'm from the city. I love music and culture as far as like being able to, I don't know, put meaning and understanding to like what I was experiencing, and I know what the arts has done for me as a person, you know what I'm saying, and how I believe it reflects God's glory, and how like I've been able to like really understand the Lord better and the world that I exist in through different like facets of art. So I guess that's kind of where it came from. I want to give that to others.
Awesome.
So tell me about the poem.
Yes, the poem Complicated.
So I had where do I start with that one? I think I was just like a hardcore battle rapper, like when I kind of started doing music, and I think there was times where I guess when you hit a certain age, you kind of gotta like put a category on something what you're doing and what it's called and who you are and stuff. Sure. And I think simple questions like what do you want to be when you grow up? I was like, man, I want to be a cartoon. I want to draw cartoons. I want to fly. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, you try to make me make a decision about my whole life. I still got to ask permission to go to the restroom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm supposed to know what I'm going to do forever, right? You know what I mean? So, like, just kind of like processing through that and feeling like, other people that like kind of nailed, like, yo, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. Like, kids that were like, I want to be a teacher. And then they go to school, they finish high school, they finish college, and they go find a teacher. And I was just like, I just wasn't like that. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and just like really not being able to kind of like put nice, neat boxes around like kind of my personhood and what I desire.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, you know
That's
what
why
I mean?
it's complicated,
yeah,
right?
and just being, and the reality is, man, that's more the rest of our experiences than like it's those that spotted in third grade are the outliers. You know what I mean? The rest of us are like, we're complex. You know what I'm saying? And there was a phrase I heard as like just like a history nerd that I am. I forget the name of the historian, but he said, great men are often bad men. And in a lot of ways, like if you think about the people that we hail historically that have like pushed civilization forward, like those dudes were often pretty ruthless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you credit Alexander the Great to be this like, spreading of like, democracy and culture. And I'm like, that dude like is responsible for the murder of millions and millions and millions of civilizations. See what I'm saying? So it's like
the whole history.
The whole history. So it's kind of like people are complicated and they're complex. So that's kind of where it came from.
And they evolve over time, right? So you give yourself space for that.
Yeah, and just know that that's what you are. And people are just we're a complex mix. You know what I'm saying? Just let
Can you
yourself
give us a piece of that? Share that with us.
Let's see here. Maybe like kind of just like jump in the middle somewhere.
Jump.
Like, all right. Yeah. Let's see here.
No pressure.
Yeah. We may scratch ourselves raw to try to erase the image we were made in. Smoke, snort, sex, or drown out the silence. We may waste our life savings on makeovers to try to rhinoplast our daddy's nose away, but no nip, no tuck could cut away the sense of obligation. We are becoming what we're not, and what we are is inescapable. You are a masterpiece, fighting to be a silly selfie with a hideous filter. You are heaven's handmade calligraphy, slumming it among papyrus fonts. You are the complete works of a perfect and eternal poet laureate with a laundry list of identity issues.
There you go, right there. talking about.
Thank you.
Praise the Lord for that.
Yeah.
Always your inspiration, I'm assuming. It comes from the Lord.
Of course, yeah. You know.
So tell us about this book. There's lots more from you. Tell us about your book and how folks can find it.
So, humblebeast.com is our website, kind of like the catch-all. There's the book is called I Am Becoming. If you just want that, you can go to IamBecomingBook.com. I was asked often to like by a couple of publishers to like write a book on just like art and culture and philosophy. My father was involved in the civil rights movement, so like I oftentimes speak a lot about like race and systemic injustice. And I was asked to like kind of write on those things, and the reality is like I won't even write a blog, like let alone a book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't have that type of like discipline. But my love for art and what I believe art does for culture is like, but what I would do is put together some poetry.
Right.
So the book is a collection of poems and photography from a brother of mine in Oakland. His name is Squints.
All right. That's a cool name.
Yeah, I don't even know his birth name. Christopher's birthday, but he goes by Squints. He's brother. So we just collaborated and put together some poetry and photography. And it's something. It's really something that like I believe in, like the artifact part of it, like that it's textile. You can hold it. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's no digital version. There's no Kindle version. It's like
it's the real deal.
It's paper. You know what I mean? And like, and that's something that I think that like you want to be able to like give something somebody can pass on, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, so when your phone is outdated and you can't access your phone, because we all got phones in a drawer somewhere, and we can't get to those photos no more, because, you know what I'm saying? And there's no, y'all, some of y'all are old enough to have floppy disks somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, there's no way to actually know what's on this anymore.
It's gone now.
Gone, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to have something that could like last. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome, wonderful. Now you're also a rapper.
I am.
So tell us about that.
Yeah, so like rap for me was first. I kind of started doing poetry in college, and it was really just because I was chasing after a girl, like everything else a dude does.
It's quite often the motivation,
It's quite often the thing. I was chasing after a girl, you know, she was a poet, and you know, blew my mind, and I just went to an open mic and was just kind of like, this is incredible, you know, and then it ceased to be about her and more about the art, and I was like, this is great. But yeah, so hip hop for me was like, that's like my first language, my first love. And I kind of came from that kind of school of thought where like hip hop was especially like being from inner city LA, like hip hop was like a force of good for us. And a lot of times other people's relationship with hip hop is a little different, but like for me, it was like, you know, what graffiti and like breakdancing was in a city that was gang infested. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about LA.
I'm talking about Los Angeles, like the heart of the city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So a city that's like that, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, you could go down, you know, this kind of gang route, but then there was this other thing happening, like, you know, where dudes were spitting on their heads and like, you know what I mean? Just being like, what is that? You know what I mean? And at the time, they, you know, you had songs like, you know, Stop the Violence, and like people were talking about like knowledge of self and just like, you know, being proud of who you are, being proud of like your African American roots, and just, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, being nappy and proud, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
You out of that.
Yeah, you know, so it was such a better idea of like how to look at the world around you and see beauty and purpose. So for me, I was like, man, whatever that is, like, I'm trying to be part of that. So so I got into rapping over that, you know, and even like just the competitive part, like I said, I was like a hardcore battle rapper, and that was like you made like long-lasting friends, like, you know, in that scene. You know what I mean? We may have been saying horrible things about each other, but like, you know what I'm saying? But
it's all good.
I don't mean it. Like, yeah, like I love that guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's like you see just now, like you see. I saw a little clip of Steph Curry kind of like crossing over Kobe, you know what I'm saying? And then just like, wow, iced the 3 in his eye. And it's like, that's incredibly embarrassing. But Kobe was like, yo, and he just patted him on the butt like, that was a great play, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way kind of like battle felt for me. It was like, yo,
You got me.
You got me, bro. That was incredible. You know what I'm saying? You just spurred on the art, and we became friends, and it wasn't violent. Just a great environment. You know?
It's a great way to connect with people where they are and understanding that you can bring art out of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Propaganda, thank you so much
thank
for
you for
being
having
here.
me.
Yeah.